Hi guys, so I want to start this video by asking you two questions. First is that have you ever felt the amount of work you're putting in for a particular goal is not equivalent to the results you're getting for that? And second, that if you have chosen a path, do you ever feel that the path towards the success of that goal is not detailed and defined, which leads to a lot of uncertainties and you being completely scared and anxious? Well, if the answer is yes, then you have entered a very important part of your life. And this can be either the easiest or the hardest part of your life. And I'm going to break it down why. Look, even when I'm making this video right now, I feel fear and anxiety. I have so many doubts that I have not cleared. Okay? I feel scared about a lot of things in life. I'm also human, right? And this fear and this anxiety made me question my goals last year when I started content creation for the first time. And that led to a lot of stuff. I let people's judgments get to me and I let my own judgments get to me, right? And this time around, I decided that I cannot let that happen. And if I let another person control my narrative, or if I let the negative narrative in my head control me, then how will I ever get anywhere in life? Correct? So through this video, I want to describe to you and I want to explain to you how you can conquer this fear in your head. And if you conquer this fear in your head, your success is guaranteed, whether it be on a small scale or a large scale. I'm not a coach or guru, but I'm just a 17-year-old who has had some amount of experiences which I like to share with you guys. And if that helps you, and if that helps you with respect to how I have dealt with it and how my dealing with it can help you guys deal with it as well, then I would be more than happy and I would be glad that I can help at least one person out there. Moving on. The next few steps are going to be very important, so I want you guys to listen carefully. And if you apply these steps, I guarantee you're going to see results within a week or two. And yeah, let's get started. Right. So the first point that I want to talk to you about is to change your vocabulary. Now, what I mean by this is that you need to stop talking about yourself in a negative manner, whether it's for jokes or for something serious. People don't realize the amount of power words hold in your life. I'll give you a very common statement that I think you've heard everywhere, but people still mess it up. That is that when you face a failure, you do not call it a loss, you call it a learning, right? And I'll tell you why. So basically, if you have something that is negatively impacting you right now, for example, you probably lost a game as simple as a video game, or you lost something much bigger, that you lost an opportunity to go somewhere, right? It is sad at this moment, but when you look at it 1 to 2 years later, if it is something that has negatively impacted you at this moment, you will be talking about it positively. Okay, I'm sure you guys have had memories where you messed up big time or something really bad happened to you, but later on, you're glad that it happens to you, right? So what I'm trying to say through this is that you do not take every single situation in your life in a pessimistic manner, but in an optimistic manner, right? Because people talk about themselves negatively so much that it gets deeply rooted, which leads to them talking negatively about other people as well, right? So if you're someone maybe who's going and telling your goals to your friends or people of your family members, their first response to anything that you do is 90% of the times going to be negative. They'll be like, why are you doing that? How can you do that? Are you sure that's valid enough? Like, these are all issues that come not from you. It comes from them negatively talking about every single topic that they have faced in their life. And if you do not want to be someone like that, change the way you speak. Alright? Find good in whatever is going on rather than negativity in every single thing in your life. Now, if you're someone who's trying to work hard, I completely get it that you're not satisfied, you want to do more. But what I'm telling you is that when you form the base or foundation of your work, you need to believe in yourself and you need to believe in your craft. Because if you don't do that, no one else is going to do it for you, right? And which is why I keep saying that you need to bet on yourself. Because until you bet on yourself, until you achieve something, how do you expect others to believe in you when you don't believe in yourself, right? So learn to speak properly to yourself before you expect others to speak properly to you. Alright, respect your own goals before you expect others to respect you. Alright, so yeah, that's the first point which I want you guys to keep in your mind, because trust me, this helps a lot and I can guarantee you within a week or two you will start seeing changes. Point 2, find your meditative space. Now what I mean by this is that I'm personally an extremist when it comes to my work. I either work all the time or I don't work at all. So I have these phases where I work continuously for 15 to 20 days straight, and then I probably take 3 to 4 days as a rest period, right? And one thing that I've realized about being balanced, according to me, is that if you're someone who wants to do a lot of work and wants to get better than everyone in something that you are doing, the idea of balance disappears. It becomes an addiction, right? So that's exactly what I mean. When you are working for so long at a continuous intensity, your brain starts to give up on you and your brain needs a break, right? So for this particular break, or for your brain to calm down during that amount of work, during that amount of fear, during that amount of uncertainty, you need to find a meditative space. Now, my personal meditative space is that I first meditate and I go to the gym, right? These are two places where my thoughts completely disappear, where I don't think about anything else and it cools me down. Just like this, you need to find something that helps you. For example, that can be reading or that can be swimming, right? Work very hard, but at the same time, make sure you have a meditative space where you can release all of that tension and energy. Alright, make sure the meditative space you have right now is something that is helping you and that does not add to your fear and uncertainties later on by doing any kind of bad habits. Make sure you remember that. Finally, point 3, normalize pain and suffering. The ideology behind this point is very simple and plain. If you're someone who wants to start a business, learn to accept failures. If you're someone who wants to build a physique, train harder. If you're someone who wants to be good at a sport, you have to go through multiple injuries as well as countless hours of training. Now, do you see that all three of this doesn't sound like a pleasant experience? It includes pain, and that is what I exactly mean by this point. Stop trying to find an easy situation out of every single moment in your life. Alright? Do not try to dictate any kind of situation in your life and consider things to come to you easily, because things are supposed to be hard. Alright? When you're doing something which is worth it, it is going to be hard. It is going to take you out of your mentality and it is going to make you burnt out and it's going to change you completely. You're going to be exhausted all the time and you're going to be tired all the time. That is the reality. Every single moment while you achieve your goal is not going to be pleasant and it's not going to be nice. Alright, so remember that your easiest way is your hard way. Alright, so stick to the hard way, stick to dealing with all the emotions, because if you normalize these things, if you normalize the idea of pain and suffering, you're going to deal with life so easily that you don't even get bothered by it anymore. Right? For example, if some issue happens in a particular task, instead of being like, oh, why did that happen to me? Alright, I cannot take it anymore. You're just going to be like, okay, it's a part of it. Let's move on to the next task. It's as simple as that. Learn to normalize pain and suffering and you're going to be way ahead in your life with every single topic, as well as ahead than every person who's around you if you do these 3 points. Alright, so that's it for today's video. Alright, I truly want to help everyone who's watching this video and that's why I'm making these statements. I hope it helps you out, okay? And the only reason why I speak the way I speak is because I feel like you guys have so much potential in you which you guys have not yet explored, right? So learn to bet on yourself as always. Alright, I just saw my previous video and I got 500 views over there, so thank you so much for that and I'm truly grateful. Content is not stopping anytime soon. We are going to keep going and I want you to keep going as well.